All right, good morning, everybody. We are back on another Thursday with another great workout from CrossFit Hyattsville. As you can see, I'm not in the garage, I'm in a basement. We took some paneling out to make room for overhead, and that's what we do in CrossFit. We adapt to our surroundings. So let that be a lesson for you. A great workout today. This is the open is tonight. We're going to get our announcement for 21.1 at 8 p.m. And we are doing our last sort of training open WOD 18.0, which is a sprint of 21, 15, 9 alt dumbbell snatches and side facing burpees. So when we hit that WOD, we are going to go, go, go. Before that, we're going to do a great strength portion. We are going to hit floor presses, bent over rows. We're going to hit the core. So some upper body and core movements. But before that, let's get warmed up. There is not too much to demo. We know our burpees, we know our floor presses. Right now, all you need for warm up is one single dumbbell or kettlebell. I kind of brought some mishmash equipment, so I'll be doing a mix and match of things today. And I don't think there's really anything for me to demo for you. We're going to roll through some side-facing burpees, floor presses, bent over rows, Russian twists, L crunches, which I will demo as we do it. It's nothing fancy. Overhead press, planks in different formats, and then ultimately the power snatch with the dumbbell. So grab your equipment. We're going to do our normal 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. I'm just going to set up my space and figure out how the camera is going to show. I apologize for the glare on either side of me. These fluorescent lights were very popular decades ago. So here we go. So grab your equipment, get your space ready, and we're going to get started in 30 seconds. So as you're setting up, remember that with the side-facing burpee, we want to place that in the middle of the ground. We're going to want it by our feet so that when we jump back and jump back up, we then can jump with 2 feet and hop over the dumbbell. All right, so set it up. You can kind of see where mine is here. I'm going to set my feet up here so that as I go down, I touch, come up, and hop over. All right. So here we go. That is the first movement to get us started. Turn my timer up so you all can hear it. And here we go, 10 seconds. Side-facing burpees to start. Nice, easy pace to get going. 3, 2, 1, go. So down, jumping feet and hands back, legs and chest touch, jump back, bring those feet up. You can step and step over as a modify or scale. You can do an up down so that you don't bring your chest and legs to the ground, and step. All our typical modifications and scales that are right for us. All right, that's my favorite burpee. Next is our floor press, so single dumbbell. We're going to get on the ground. And again, you can add that glute bridge. Grab that weight by both heads.
Let's go.
Settle back. Nice tight glute bridge. And just pressing. We're going to try different hand positions during the workout. Depending on your weight, if your weight's a little light, you can do a negative and do a slow descent and increase that time under tension. If it's light for you, your weight, you could also do a 1.5 rep.
Rest.
Good. And come up. All right. Next up is a single dumbbell bent over row. So we're going to take that dumbbell. We're going to stand up with it. We're going to shoot our hips back. Really thinking about our back.
Let's go.
In good position. My head is looking at the floor about 3.5 feet in front of me. Neutral with the spine. And as I come up, I'm really thinking about squeezing those shoulder blades together. Pulling through my back. That weight touches my rib cage. And again, we're going to try some different hand positions on these rows. 2, 1. Stand up with it first. Lower carefully. Next one is our Russian twist. We're going to get on the ground for this. And let's keep our feet, heels in contact with the ground. Get that weight.
Let's go.
We're going to go side to side. Touching. I'm leaning back a little, turning my shoulders and head with the weight to follow that direction and really get that end range of motion in that rotational movement. We don't have a ton of moves in CrossFit that use this rotation, but it's important to train it for core stability. Rest. All right. Next up is an L crunch. So what is an L crunch? And we're going to try it without weight first. You're going to get down on your back and basically be in an L sit on your back. And then you're reaching towards your toes.
Let's go.
So sometimes people might call this toe touches. You know, you'll see as you work out in different routines and with different folks, you'll see different names for the same movement. I'm thinking about trying to keep those feet pointed towards the sky, bottoms of my feet up. And just a small movement, but it does the job. And then later on, we will add a weight. Breathe out as you come up. Fight.
Rest.
Fight to keep those legs up. Next up is single overhead press. Single dumbbell overhead press. So we're going to hold both heads of the dumbbell. And we're just warming up the shoulders here. And make sure.
Let's go.
Just in the right location here. Ooh, it was a lot easier to not hit the ceiling when I was younger in here. And during the workout, we're going to switch between push presses, split jerks, push jerks, all different types of overhead movements. I can't quite lock out at top.
Rest.
And rest. Okay. Planks, we're going to get on the ground again. We're doing 8 seconds in each position. Front plank, side plank, reverse plank, side plank. 2, 1.
Let's go.
So we go to our normal plank, hands are under our shoulders. Then we are going to drift over to a side plank on the right. Think about those hips coming up. And then step over, drop that back hand. Send your heels forward, your hips up towards the sky. Reverse plank. And then Use your leg to support, drift over onto that left side, stack your feet. You can keep them spread.
Rest.
All right. And come out of that. And now finally the alt power snatch. So we're coming from the ground to overhead and changing hands in between reps. All the way from the ground. So I'm on the ground. This is kind of like that kettlebell swing feel. All the way up. Oops. And then switch down, touch. I gotta be right between the rafters here in order for this to work. Come all the way up to full lockout. Two, one, rest. All right. So that's everything that we're going to do today. What we're about to go into for our strength is a rotation of 5 movements, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off for 4 rounds. So the next 20 minutes of strength, we're going to alternate between floor press, bent over rows, Russian twists, or L crunch. We're going to sub out on different rounds, overhead press, and then a plank variation. Each round of the 4 rounds, we're only going to do one variation of any movement. So the first round of overhead, we might do push press. The next time we might do push jerks. Then we'll do split jerk right, split jerk left. You get the idea. The floor press, the bent over rows, and the overhead presses, you're now introducing a second dumbbell if you have that. So you want to pick your proper weight and what's good for you to move around. I'll be using kind of a mix and match of a kettlebell and dumbbell. So take a second to get your equipment in order. We're going to start on that floor. And we're going to get a good workout today. All right, so first round, or first minute is floor press. And again, I'll talk you through each move as we're going. With the floor press, we're going to move our hands in different positions. So first time around, just a regular overhand grip as if you were holding a barbell, like a regular bench press. And then each time we're going to move them a little bit. All right, good to go? All right, I got the timer set. We're doing 40 seconds of work. Make sure you can see on the ground here. Make sure my computer's not going to fall. All right, we're going in 10. 3, 2, 1, go. So again, our hands are overhead. We're doing that glute bridge. We're going lowering until we hit the floor. Hands are overhand like we're holding a barbell. Squeezing out those pectorals at the top through our chest, locking out our elbows. Glute bridge is just a little extra support on, or a little extra work for the hamstrings. All right, bring it down. Coming up to our bent over row next. We're going to hold our hands in that same position, overhand grip. All right. 2, 1, go. So deadlift up first, always send those hips back and then squeeze those shoulder blades together. Breathe out as you contract. Take a breath as you lower. 10 seconds. And stand up with it. Lower the weight carefully. Next up is Russian twist. Back on the ground. Again, I'm keeping my heels down. Here we go. Turning and touching. I like the kettlebell for this movement just because I find the horns easier to hold. Really turning. Halfway. And 1. All right. Now we're going to our push press overhead. All right, so you are going to get up. We're going to do a little dip and drive and get those weights overhead. 2, 1, go. So clean them up on our shoulders, dip and drive. Full extension at the top, hips, knees, and elbows. Weight is overhead. Three, 2, 1, and down. And front plank is next. Whew, and then we're through our first round here. So back on the ground, hands under shoulders. Heels are shooting back, trying to keep everything in line. Don't let your hips sag. Think about that belly button moving towards your spine. Everything is tight here. And up. All right. Now we just rinse and repeat 3 more times. We're going back to the floor press. This time, put your hands at 45 degrees. So we started here. Now we're going to 45. 3, 2, 1, go. Knock out 1 more. All right, bring it down. Oh, back to the bent over row. Same thing with the grip, 45 degrees. 2, 1,
Let's go.
and go. Stand up with that weight. Hips are back. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1,
Rest.
and up. All right, hitting those Russian twists next. Whoo, starting to feel it. Two, 1, go. Two, 1, rest. All right. Overhead presses. Whew. Now we're doing a push jerk. So we're going to catch it and stand up with it.
Let's go.
Here we go. So your dip drive, catch under. And bring it down. All right. And then side plank on the right side. So get position. Feet, hips, hands in line, hand under the shoulder, stacked. You can get your hand up. You can spread your base out if you need to. You can bring a leg up and stack it on the knee. You can star out if you want to scale up, or hang right here. Nice straight line. Nice, Steph. Nice, Susan. This is our resting pose. Slow your breathing down and just feel it all through here. And rest. All right, halfway. This time we're going to work in the L crunch instead of the twist. I was supposed to alternate, and our grip for the floor press is neutral now, so hands are facing each other.
Let's go.
Here we go. So now the palms of my hands are in, just a nice neutral grip. I'm slowing down my reps here just to increase that time under tension. And rest, come up. Same thing with our bent over row now. Neutral grip on the hands, pulling up. Three, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Stand up with it. Hips back. Good position. 10 seconds. And stand with it and bring it down. All right, now we're doing those L crunches. You can hold a weight here too. So remember, those feet are going straight up.
Let's go.
I want you to fight for this position and then reach. Small crunching movement. We are taxing our lower abs by keeping this L position. And of course, you feel your upper abs through the crunch. Two, one.
Rest.
Whew. All right. Now, for our overhead, we're going to work in a split jerk. So you're going to dip and drive. Right leg every time. 2, 1,
Let's go.
go. So we're here, and dip. Front first, back leg up. Front, back. Don't lower until you have locked out overhead with both legs up. A little more technical move here. Woo! All right. That is awkward with 2 different implements. Left plank on the side. Here we go. So same thing, hand is stacked. Everything is nice in line. I'm not doing this. Actually, if anything, I'd rather see you a little high than low, because then I know you're contracting through your lateral obliques. And you should be straight line. Your hips should not be going back. Hips, shoulders, ears, ankles, all on the same plane. And we're breathing. Rest. All right, last round here. We're back on the floor press. And now we're gonna try a reverse grip or a reverse bench. This is going to get more tricep involved. Okay, so my palms are facing me now as best as they can. It's a little awkward with the kettlebell. But you can feel how your triceps have to do a little more work when they lock out at the top. The weight is a little further down on your body. Okay, here we go. All right, next is our row. Same thing, reverse grip. We're going to be getting the bicep now, hitting the other side of the arm. Here we go. Standing up with it, hips back, palms forward. Correct your back if you feel it starting to round like I just did. Squeeze at the top, 10 seconds here. You got this. One more. Good, stand up with it. Back to that L sit, crunch. I'm sorry these were supposed to alternate, but I don't want to short us here. Let's see what the kettlebell feels like. More of a crush grip on the bell. Fighting to keep those legs vertical. Little bit of movement, lot of action. One more. Good. I'm going to push you to do one more each round. Overhead press, we're splitting on the left leg now. 2 more rounds here, let's do it. All right, so get yourself in that front rack. Dip drive, split left, step, step. 10 seconds. And rest. Woo! All right, Steph, we're on the reverse plank. Let's bring it home here on the strength. – 40 seconds. Shoot those hips. Fight to keep them up. Don't let your butt sag. Stretch across your chest and shoulders. Head back. Toes are forward. You're on your heels, digging them into the ground to help keep you up. You're gonna feel this in your glutes, your hamstrings. They impact your core. It's not just six packs here. 2, 1. Oh. All right. Most workouts would be done right now, but not us. Whew. We're gonna take about 3 minutes or so to get set up here. I'm gonna change out my weight. So let me just talk a little bit about the WOD here. So 18.0, I mentioned before, dumbbell snatch and burpees. It's a 21-15-9. 21 snatches, alternating hands. So every snatch counts. And then 21 side-facing burpees. Remember with the side-facing burpee, you don't have to come all the way up to full extension. It's enough just to jump with 2 feet and get over the dumbbell. RX weights are 50 and 35, and you must jump your feet forward and backward in the burpee, no stepping for RX. The standard has changed over the years, so that's why I'm mentioning it. Scaled weights, 35 and 20, and stepping back and stepping over is allowed. So in terms of the dumbbell for the snatches, both heads have to touch the ground. So depending on what you like to do, you can switch hands on the way down and touch both heads, or you can just put the weight down and switch hands and do it that way, whatever's comfortable. Obviously, putting it and switching hands might be a touch slower. Your non-working hand cannot touch your body. Has to be out. I usually counterbalance. So as I'm going down and up, watch out. Not in my 2-foot area. That's good for me to raise my hands down here. And you can't switch hands until the dumbbell passes below your head. So you can't switch the weight up at top and lower. I tend to switch and just kind of hand it off somewhere around chest height. But again, feel what's good for you. Okay. What I would do, there's a 10-minute time cap. So even if we finish, Steph, we're going to keep the timer running for 10 minutes. So if you finish early, do your, do some mobility, roll out if you have it while we're waiting, because I want to keep the 10-minute timer running on the video. And then we'll finish up with some mobility. Okay? So I'm going to get myself set up. And actually, I might have a clock, Steph, that you could.
Well, no, I have my own timer on my computer. Just let me know when you're 10 minutes.
Okay. All right, I'll do that. I did get a little small travel timer, and I was thinking I could have that visible for you all. But all right, good. I'll tell you when we start. We'll start around the same time, so you keep track of your time. And then I'll even, as we finish, I'll even kind of talk us through some foam rolling or something while we're letting the timer run. All right, so grab your weights, get yourself set up in a good position. I would have a plan. My plan is you should always have a plan going into your workout. My plan, and I'm not telling you this should be your plan, but I know that the dumbbell snatches can only go so fast. So I'm going to just pace them through. Maybe take a breath at the top, a pause 2 seconds before I lower down and switch hands. So kind of get a fast beat down and back up. Pause for a second, down and back up, just to catch an extra breath there. And then the burpees, I'm going to just try and keep them moving as quickly as I feel like I can sustain. Side-facing burpees for me are very fast. I know for you as well, Steph. So, all right. We got 10 minutes. Let me get my timer. So your clock, if you're setting a clock, should be counting up. And we are going with 18.1. No, I'm sorry, 18.0. Am I right? Yeah, 18.0 dumbbell snatches and burpees, 21, 15.9 in 10 seconds. Move well and good luck. 3, 2, 1, go. Remember on that burpee, has to jump over before the rep counts. Keep moving. Note your time. Coming up on 7 minutes and about 15 seconds. Three minutes left. Keep it up if you're still working, good job. If you finished, good job, catch your breath like I am. Wow. Stay with it. You have a roller in your hand, you have handy. Start rolling out low back, glutes and hamstrings. Two minutes left. Keep working. In 21:15.9, that round of 15 is mental. Once you get through that, 9 reps, you got it. Whew. "90 seconds. Come on. Once you get to those 9 burpees, just go. Just gotta fall down and stand up and get over that weight. Remember, that last rep doesn't count until you jump the weight. Come on, hang on. "60 seconds. If you're done, focus on your breathing. 30 seconds. Slow down that breath to recover. Get that oxygen flowing. You got it, 20 seconds. If you're still working, finish strong. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Oh, good work, everybody. If you just finished at the time cap, I want you to pause the video for a minute, catch your breath, and then come back in for a little mobility. Steph, we're going to stay on the floor here.
Okay.
And finish up with, whew.
How'd you do with in your basement there?
What's that?
I said, how'd you do in there in the basement? It was all right?
Yeah, I hit the rafters a few times. It was on the snatch. I was just shortening. I wasn't trying to explode up as much.
Right, so it was harder.
And it definitely made it harder. Yeah, because I couldn't get that same brush up, jump up feel. But it was good. It was good. That round of 15, it doesn't matter what the moves are. The round of 15 is just mentally, draining, because all of the tiredness from 21 starts creeping in at around rep 6 of the 15 movements. All right.
I'm interested to see what my score is from like when I did it last time, because I feel like during quarantine, because I use dumbbells all the time, my dumbbell was so much better this year than it was last year.
I'm sure it was. It would be interesting to check and see. Yeah. I'm also interested to see what they released tonight.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because a lot of people have been using a single dumbbell for most of the, like you said. I mean, there are people that's all they've been using for the last year.
Yep.
All right. Here we go, Steph. Okay. We're going to do 5 minutes. We're going to start with one of my favorites, the side-to-side stretch. So we're going to be down on our knees. And hands and knees down. So, and then we're going to do that side ear to the ground. And then just flow over to the other side. Same thing. Ear to the ground. Just back and forth. When I go down, I actually rotate my arm towards my thumb a little bit. And that really gets the connection where my pec and shoulder kind of meet. You actually have 3 attachment points from the pec coming in, and you're hitting all of them right here. Good for the floor press, good for dips if you did dips the other day. Ten more seconds here. 2, 1. All right, now we're gonna go into a flow, downward dog to cobra. So, get into a little downward dog. Go ahead and pedal the feet a little bit. Hit those hamstrings. And then come through, untuck them, up to cobra. We hit the core. Flow back and forth. Release the back. You can hang out in downward dog for a little bit. Lower back up. We're going to stay here one more minute. So enjoy the positions as they come up. Think about quality. Are your hips shooting up to the sky? Are your heels driving towards the ground? In the upward dog, is your head up? Are your shoulders down and relaxed? Or are they up by your ears? We want them down and relaxed. Two, 1, and then we're going to finish up with 2 minutes of diamond. So come on into that butterfly seated position. Hands go through and under your shins. Touch the feet. Good breath. And extend and bend from your hips, low back. And go ahead and just roll and let your head hang. The dumbbell rows and those snatches definitely tax your low back. I'm actually digging in to my hamstrings with my elbow to help kind of pull my torso out of my hips. Really feeling that stretch out of my lower spine. One more minute here.
Last round.
Good breath. Twenty more seconds here. Enjoy it while we're in it. So important to recover. Just as important as the workout. 2, 1.
Well done.
And done. Well, we did it again. 1 people, 2 people, 5 people, just by myself. We're getting the workouts in and we're recording them from the garage in Maryland, from a basement in New Jersey, wherever we can get them in. Good job. Open is tonight. Good luck if you're doing it. And we will see you next week.
All right. Thanks, Eric.
All right. Take care, Steph. Great job today.